Embarking on the intriguing tale of Cain and his wife, we navigate the captivating intricacies found within the pages of Genesis. The enduring lineage of Cain becomes a focal point, captivating the attention of those who delve into the biblical narrative. A central question emerges, demanding exploration: where did Cain find his wife? To unravel this mysterious enigma, we must delve into the profound verses of the Bible. The journey begins with Cain's fateful act of slaying his brother Abel, leading to his expulsion by God to the enigmatic land of Nod, east of Eden. Within this realm, Cain enters into a marital relationship, and Enoch comes into existence, as recounted in Genesis 4 verse 17. The absence of women mentioned before Eve adds complexity to the mystery. How did Cain, having departed from the heavenly realm, discover a wife? This enigma presents two plausible explanations regarding the origins of Cain's spouse. For those intrigued by this narrative, let us embark on a deeper exploration. The repercussions of his father's transgressions in heaven manifest in a curse upon the land, enveloping Cain in a destiny shaped by hardships and toil. Humanity's journey unfolds in a world marked by passions and curses, offering insight into the challenges faced outside the heavenly abode. Furthermore, a punishment of wandering befalls Cain, diminishing the fertility of the land he tills. Genesis 4 verse 12. The tale of Cain and his wife is indeed fascinating, especially for those who have observed in the book of Genesis that the lineage of Cain endures. This narrative raises a compelling question that has intrigued many: where did Cain find his wife? To unravel this enigma, we must delve into the depths of biblical verses. After Cain slew his brother Abel, he was cast out by God and roamed to the land of Nod, situated east of Eden. At this juncture, the text states that Cain engaged in a marital relationship, leading to the birth of Enoch. Genesis 4 verse 17. Given that women were not mentioned before Eve, the mystery deepens. How could Cain, having left the heavenly abode, find a wife? This conundrum offers two potential explanations regarding the origin of Cain's spouse. If you find this narrative intriguing, let's delve into it further. Due to his father's transgressions in heaven, the land was cursed, and now Cain himself faced a curse through the land. Thus began humanity's journey in the world, marked by passions and curses, explaining the toil and hardship outside of heaven. Additionally, there was the punishment of wandering, making the ground less fruitful for Cain. Genesis 4 verse 12. The curse upon Cain, who tilled the land, was not only more severe than that upon the earth but also stemmed from it. This was the very land where he committed his crime, and it now became the source of his punishment, withholding power from those who depended on him. Similar to his father's exile from heaven, Cain found himself without a permanent dwelling and devoid of peace, marked by fears. Genesis 4 verse 14. Cain, despite refuting claims, received special protection from God, beyond a mere distinguishing sign. This protection extended to a promise of avenging his death if the sign alone proved insufficient. Leaving the presence of God, Cain settled ironically in the land of Nod, where he experienced the joys and challenges of family life, continuing the generational chain like his father. The question of whom Cain married is not explicitly answered in the Bible, but it is believed that he married one of his sisters or a close relative. Two potential options are considered: the creation of additional groups of people by God, dispersed across different parts of the world, or Cain marrying a sister, niece, or great-niece. The first option, suggesting additional groups of people, contradicts Scripture, as Adam referred to his wife Eve as the mother of all the living, emphasizing their role as the original human couple. The alternative explanation posits Cain marrying a close relative among Adam and Eve's descendants. The Bible does not provide names for all of Adam's descendants, and the age at which Cain married is unspecified. It is plausible that Adam and Eve had other children besides Cain and Abel, and it was one of their daughters or granddaughters who became Cain's wife. The ambiguity in Genesis prompts speculation about the relationship between Cain and his wife. Despite being cursed and marked by God, Cain found a woman who agreed to be his wife, potentially a sister, niece, or a more distant relative due to the passage of time. According to the Book of Jubilees, written between 135 and 105 BC, Cain's wife is described as Eve's daughter. In this account, after Cain killed Abel, Adam and Eve had another son, Seth, and a daughter named Asherah. Cain took his sister as his wife, and they had a son named Enoch. This narrative aligns with the idea that in the early days, when the population was limited, marriage within the family was not prohibited by God. In conclusion, the question of where Cain found his wife raises a thought-provoking puzzle. A careful examination of the biblical text suggests that Cain likely married his sister, born to Adam and Eve when they traveled to the land of Nod. The absence of a ban on close relationships during that time, coupled with the genetic conditions of the era, lends credibility to this explanation. In the quest to unravel the mysteries surrounding Cain's wife, the ancient text of Jubilees provides a unique perspective, describing her as none other than Eve's daughter. According to this account, following the tragic event of Cain slaying Abel, Adam and Eve welcomed another son, Seth, along with a daughter named Asherah. Cain, in a reflection of the practices of that era, took his sister as his wife, and from their union emerged a son named Enoch. This narrative aligns with the notion that, in the early days when the human population was scarce, divine prohibitions against intrafamily marriage were not yet in place. As we ponder the question of where Cain found his wife, the careful scrutiny of biblical passages points towards a plausible solution. It appears that Cain, in his wanderings to the land of Nod, married his sister, who was born to Adam and Eve during that time. The absence of any explicit prohibition against close relationships, coupled with the genetic conditions of that era, lends credibility to this explanation. In the tapestry of ancient stories, the union of Cain and his wife becomes a thought-provoking puzzle, emphasizing the intricate complexities embedded in the early history of humanity. While questions linger, the exploration of biblical texts sheds light on the possible answers, offering a glimpse into the customs and circumstances that shaped the lives of those who walked the earth in those ancient days.